So families come in all shapes and sizes, but let's be honest, none of them are perfect. And yet they seem to have this invisible structure that keeps our society together and actually makes us all kind of step up and do more of the right thing. And the reason I know this is because my family's not perfect, and I was never going to be a family man up until about 8 years ago when I met my wife, Mariana, and she happened to have a daughter. She was a single mother at the time. I'd never dated a single mother before. And at first my reaction was like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to get into this, but I just went with the flow, and it turned out to be one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, because a few years later, I would adopt her daughter. We would all move in together as a family. And a few years after that, we ended up having these two beautiful boys of our own. And now we're one big, imperfect family together. And this comes from a guy who was going to be a lifelong bachelor. I was going to be the guy with the massive apartment and the fancy cars all alone. That was going to be me. And I was going to be miserable and depressed and disconnected if I had done that. And sure, there's nothing easy about family life. It means that you have to sacrifice. You have to think of others first. You have to deal with stressful and, emotional situations. But the payoff is so massive. And the payoff is even good because I'm proud of the person I have become. When you're a father, you're always being watched, and you've got to step up and make sure you do the right thing every single day. And I'm so glad I had that accountability in the form of a 7-year-old girl to watch me and make sure I wasn't doing anything stupid. And so that's why I spoke about family in my Real Deal episode yesterday, and it's live and it's on our website. I think it's londonreal.tv/Real Deal, where you can watch all those. And it's an hour I do every week. It's live. And lately I've been talking about many of my policies as your next mayor of London. And I have 12 detailed policies about how I'm going to take the city in a new direction when I am elected on May 6th and when I move into City Hall on May 7th. And if you want to watch the videos or look at any of those 12 detailed policies, you can go to brianformayor.london and learn about them. But Friday I spoke about family, and I talked about looking at the lens of many of London's problems through that of family. And I've been talking recently about the horrific levels of knife crime that our current mayor has put us in because of promises he didn't deliver. I've talked about the complete lack of affordable housing, again, because of our current mayor and his broken promises and lies to us. And I've also spoken about the poor state of the education system and the fact that our younger generation have never been so down and depressed about their futures. But I've never looked at all of those problems through the lens of family. And I did that on Friday. And the reason I did that is because 2 months ago on London Real, I had an incredible man on my show, and his name is Lord Michael Farmer. And I know when people hear Lord, sometimes they're like, well, what is that? And I don't know who he is, and does he own a piece of land, or is he in the government? And, he actually explained on the episode what it means to be a Lord and what the House of Lords do. And I actually learned a lot about it. And they're actually a parliamentary body that works kind of next to the House of Commons. But when you're in the House of Lords, you're in there for life. They call it a peerage, which means you can focus on long-term things. Now, not all the Lords are active in the House of Lords, but Michael Farmer's very, very active, and he's very serious about trying to help Britain and help London. And he believes that the family structure is something that's right in front of our faces, that if we just invest in it now, it will just pay so many benefits. And his mantra is all prevention is better than cure, which is actually very similar to our mantra here at London Real and that of the Brian for Mayor campaign. We believe that, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And Lord Farmer believes that if you invest in the family structure, again, any type of family structure, it could be two-parent, single-parent, extended family structure, if you invest in it early, it'll pay dividends later. And the fact that the family will stay together, it won't break up, which almost doubles the housing needs. It won't lead to single-parent homes, lack of mentorship for young men and women, which can sometimes lead to increases in crime. It doesn't tax the education system like so many times we see, where we look at our schools to almost be our babysitters, our parents for our kids. And so Lord Farmer talked about these ideas of the family, and it really got me inspired, and it was really the basis of my Family First policy. And so Friday I spoke about some of the things that we could do to strengthen the family. And He actually supports something called Family Hubs, which has been around since 2009, and it's a really innovative group of people that try to strengthen families through virtual and sometimes physical locations, working with different cities and boroughs. And in London, about 5 boroughs have actually adopted this and have family hubs, places like Westminster, Kensington and Chelsea, Dagenham, to some real great success. And another 6 or 7 boroughs are in the process. And again, what they are is they're hubs not just for kids, because a lot of times the parents get forgotten about, and it's the dads that need sometimes emotional support, and the moms that need emotional support, and the children, and sometimes they have questions about health and education and further employment. The family hubs do all of that, and I spoke a lot about these organizations and how, as your next mayor of London, I want to see if we can get these hubs incorporated into various boroughs in a way that's bespoke to the borough, in a way that the local councils think might be the best for them, working with local community centers or local athletic groups or local churches or whatever it takes to do the best thing we can to give those families early help before the unit gets destroyed. And my mom was a single mother. She raised three kids herself. She took us all over the world. She got us great education. But the truth is she could have used more help. She really could have used more help. And I was one of these latchkey kids. I got home at 3:00 and I had 5 hours alone with myself till my mom got home, because she was working a job to pay for all of us. And so, and my wife was doing the same thing. She used to, work really long hours in retail while her daughter would have to have someone else care for her. And so it's all about giving single mothers and single fathers and other family structures just more help. And I think these family hubs are an incredible way to do it. So again, if you want to know more about this, watch my Real Deal episode. I'm curious for your thoughts below. Do you think that strengthening the family and using prevention early on might help us down the line? Because the problem is when these structures break down, kids go into foster care, single parent homes, kids aren't looked after. And I spoke to a woman named Alina in Tower Hamlets 2 weeks ago when I was out there speaking. And by the way, I'm coming to every single borough in London. The Brian Battle Bus is being built as we speak. And I'm literally going to drive this bus to every single borough so I can talk to every single one of you. I'm going to try to talk to every Londoner. That's 9 million conversations. I'm ready. So all you got to do is come meet me. And I spoke to Alicia, and she works with young girls in Tower Hamlets. And she said, Brian, from 3:30 to 8:30, there's nothing for them to do. The parent's not there. The school is over. She said, that's where kids get into trouble. She said, that's where we need to help these parents. And so I couldn't agree with her more. And I want to offer more solutions and put these ideas out there. So please leave your comments below. Tell me, do you think that by investing early in the family structure, we could save tons of money that might come out later in the form of crime and housing and education and just, breakdowns in the community? I'm curious for your thoughts, and I just want to say thank you to Lord Farmer. He's a really incredible guy who's literally giving the rest of his life to try to help people in Britain and Londoners and families, and he's doing some incredible work. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hope to see you out. The battle bus is running in January. Again, I want to meet every single Londoner, so come out and see me. Shake my hand, I'll give you a hug, you take a picture. I want to listen to what your challenges are so we can fix them together. We're going to take London in a new direction. We're going to fix all this nonsense you see around us with simple, science-based decisions, a proportional response to the virus, and real leadership for a change. Let's make London a world-class city again, huh? Shall we? Let's do this.